Welcome to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Owen Hayes. You're watching Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented to you by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor. Today is December 7th. It is Sunday, and we are live right now at 9 a.m., and we'd love to hear from you. Call us up on that hotline. It's 503-548-6777. Now, usually it is for reports and questions and comments, whatever it might normally be, but our special guest in studio this morning is Bill Herzog. If you might have questions for Bill, in particular, we're talking about steelhead fishing this morning, winter steelhead. Of course, Bill is also AKA the metal god for a reason. We've talked with him about spoons and spinners and different reasons and different styles and different ways to fish them over the years several times. Today, though, we're going to continue to talk a little bit about why so many people don't use them, but also talk about when to use metal as opposed to, say, what is so popular now, bobber and beads, bobber and jig, bobber and pink worm, or bait for that matter. There's so many different ways to target winter steelhead these days that some of the old school techniques, some of the old school ways of targeting them just gets overlooked for really no reason, if you really think about it. But at the very least, you can't have anybody better than Bill here in the studio to talk about it. So if you have questions for Bill, or maybe one that we can relay to him, feel free to call. We'd love to get that to him while we're here talking with him this morning. Also, a couple of other things that we're going to talk with Bill. Gift ideas for those steelheaders that are in your life, maybe even just for yourself. Also, I thought one that was absolutely ingenious, because I'm finding myself these days really kind of falling right into that old thing, right? Where you just start getting a little bit further down the road, and it's a good idea to be a little bit safer when you're going up and down the rivers. No matter if it's the summertime or the wintertime, some tricks that you might be able to utilize to be a little bit safer when you're walking up and down those rivers. Now, this past summer, good friend Don New that we hung out with last night over at the Hatchery and Wild Gala, they called it. I kept calling it a, something other, banquet. Had a heck of a time standing on some of the rocks on the Deschutes, and having something like these sticks here really could have helped out a lot, and it just drives home that we're not quite as athletic or cat-like, like I like to say, as we may have used to be. So we're going to cover some of that ground with Bill. I'm going to be like, hey, I could outfish you if I got my bobber and bead and bobber and jig, and then he'll come up behind you with a spoon and let you know how many fish are actually in the system, right? So there's going to be a different way to kind of take that perspective and hopefully at least get you to try a different way to catch winter steelhead, summer steelhead, and for that matter, salmon too, silvers, for crying out loud. You master spoons and spinners, the correct way to fish them, the correct places to fish them, and the right conditions to fish them, you will be absolutely way more deadly than you are if you're strictly fishing with bobbers. Unquestionable. There's no way to argue that. It's just a fact. So, like myself though, a lot of us get lazy and we just stick with what we're comfortable with and overlook some of those old school techniques that can be so darn effective. So we're going to have that chance with Bill here in just a little bit on the show. Of course, this upcoming segment, we're going to have the information that we need, and obviously the biggest story right now for all of us outdoors people is water. We finally have water. It's we're working our way into the middle of December, and we have had zero water when you're talking about waterfowl hunting or fishing, right? This is going to change everything. Once everything settles back down, there's going to be a couple of small windows, maybe, to get out and target some steelhead, based on whatever river system you're on, how the conditions actually are. So there might be a little window in there, but a week or so out, based on the forecast, it could very well just be full-blown winter steelhead season. Now, conventional thinking these days, at least of 2025, it might be still a little bit early to think that it's full-blown winter steelhead season, but understand how much water we have coming at one time. Those fish that are out, even in the saltwater, they know what's going on. They smell it. Things could get interesting pretty quickly. I guess that's the optimist in me on that note, but at the very least, we're right on the doorstep of things getting interesting. I've actually got friends that are out fishing this morning on 2 different systems. I was like, you guys are nuts. But at the very least, it's at that bottom part of the drop. You can't catch them if you're not out there. So it is certainly something to get excited about, and I'm looking forward to having a chance to talk with Bill about that here this morning. Also, if you've been in the market, and I know a lot of us have been, and I'm sure a lot of you at home, maybe you already own a sled, maybe you already own a willy boat, right? Doesn't matter if it's a drift boat, sled, whatever it is, there's no doubt that a boat is an advantage when you're out there fishing, let alone for the fun, but for the opportunities that it presents you, right? It's pretty simple on that note. We got a quick clip, though, with the folks from Portland Marine. We're going to talk about some willy boat stuff, so we're going to have a quick clip of that before we get Bill on. So make sure that you check that out if you are interested in something like that. And, of course, we'll make sure to line you up on the right info that you need to learn more from the professionals like the folks over at Portland Marine. So we're going to have that for you as well, and a ton of photos and videos that folks have been sending in. So looks like we got a reminder that's coming in. We'll get to that here in just a little bit. If you'd like to call, make sure you do it now. You'll see it right there on your screen. Let's start showing you some of the photos that everyone's been sending in, and there's no shortage of them, but it seems like, from what Ryan tells me, we're starting to get to the end of the hundreds that we've had up to this point in the year. So if you've always wanted to get your photos in, we'll show you exactly how to do it. It's pretty easy. Barview Jetty Cabazon, delicious, sorry. As long as they're at the point of being retained, yeah, delicious. Love those. Blue-billed drake. Well, yes and no. Okay, so there's a strong possibility that a mallard drake that looks just like that with that blue bill could have some pintail in it. So if it's not being shown somewhere else on the bird, it is possible. But yeah, that's a really cool bird, rare one. Out of all the thousands of mallards that I've seen one or two of those in all the years. Cascade blacktail, just some of the folks that we met yesterday at the gala were showing some of their recent photos from this year, and some whitetail. Mr. Bob Kratzer, him and his family just had a great year on whitetail this year, and it makes me hungry just thinking about it. Colorado fly fishing, I don't care where the photos come from. If you're in Colorado and you're catching a trout that looks like a steelhead, you're doing something right. Bill, I know you've been there, wherever he is, wherever John is. Thanks for sending the photo in. Bill, you've probably been there. Really cool photo. That's what you call real fly fishing, everyone. Looks like a pair of hen turkey right there. Some of those fall turkey hunts this year were really, really successful. I really wish I could get in on that in September. Areas that I spend my time though in September, it's not open for fall turkey. Chris, thanks for the photo. Nothing but deliciousness there. Favorite fall color, chrome. Jeff, thanks for the photo. That's a dandy Chinook right there. Well, actually, I see those white gums. That could very well be a coho. The sun's kind of screwing me up with the spots. But dandy fish. Thanks for sending the photo in, Jeff. We appreciate it. Lots of ways to do it, folks. We'll get to that in just a second. Anytime you get the kids on there, yes, that photo's probably going to make it to the air. Dan, thanks for sending it over. Grandson's first fish. Nice trout. Congrats on that. Looked like they were out trolling. Love it. Not that far away. There are already some folks that are really, last night in particular, talking about spring Chinook season. Way too early to start talking about that kind of stuff, right? Mount Thiessen sunrise. Wow, just beautiful. Mount Thiessen. Ryan, where the heck is that? Bill, you know where Mount Thiessen is? Nope. That is gorgeous, though. Look at that photo. Yeah. Mike, thanks for sending the photo over. We love some of those photos like that. The ones that you're going to put up on the wall. Here's a good one. Nice big honker, Randy. Nice job. It's so weird right now. For all the old school goose hunters out there, obviously the good old days are long gone, apparently, with two bird limits and this and that. It makes it very difficult to target them specifically, but looks like Randy had a good day, at least knocking one down. Pluck it, roast it, old school, right? Sockeye on the Kasloff. I would assume that, Bill, you've probably been there too. Kasilof, thank you. All right, there you go. Some of the names up in Alaska get me, or Canada for that matter, get me. I can't even say it's half of them. John, thanks for sending the photo over. Looks like they had a super successful day. Never done that. We were up on the Kenai and watching those folks, doing the swinging thing. That looks like a lot of fun. Delicious fish, though. Fish on the planet right now. I'm telling you, the meat is incredible. Looks just like the CCA had, and tastes way, way better, I would assume. Here's a quick video sent in by Stephen, excuse me. What's he got on? 80 feet out. We're staring at the sky. There's going to be a payoff here, everyone, I promise. With that net hooked up like that, I'd say he's probably an anchor fisherman, but we'll see. Obviously, everyone he's fighting a fish. He's got the net under it somewhere. Okay, he's giving you the woo! That means it ended up in the bag somehow. We're all going to learn together. All right, all right, okay. Look at that. Okay, I get it. All right, let's take a look at that fish. Is it a hatchery? Would that be a springer? I'm going to call that a springer based on the spots, but could be wrong. Dandy. Stefan, congratulations. Very interesting perspective, Ryan, on the angle there, but we'll take it. It's easy. It's the Fox 12 app. Download it. Send us those videos. Send us those photos. We're going to show you off every Saturday and Sunday morning. You can also email them or put them up to our Facebook page. And again, if I always say this, I even got questioned about it last night. Why do you always say if you're into that stuff? Because if you're into that stuff, you can send them to our Facebook page. Just that simple. Okay, we've got a couple calls that are coming in, but before we go too far, don't forget Abby's, gps@abbys.com. Win yourself a giant pizza. It's a photo contest, so get yourself your best photo. Send that in. Each week, there is a winner. And if you do so, if you wish to, you can purchase gift cards there. And I believe you get a gift card if you are the winner as well. But you get some bonus bucks with that. You buy a $100 gift card, you get an extra $20. So you can buy a family member a gift card for Abby's for Christmas, a little stocking stuffer, and keep that $20 for yourself. So when you go back, you can get your own pizza, right? Maybe some spuds. I'm just saying, you got to look at it from all perspectives.